All right. Thank you for affording me this opportunity. So, we I'm going to be um, discussing three key points. One is a virtual machine. Next, we're going to be talking about several rules and features. And the next, we're going to be talking about domains Active Directory. I like to begin with virtual machines. In our today's environment, uh, utilizing the power of virtualization is very much important. We have, um, we actually have two types of uh, virtual machine we can utilize. We have type 1 hypervisor and we have type 2 hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor is wherein we directly install our virtual software on the physical machine directly. It can be VMware or Oracle VM. These can be installed directly on our physical machine. That's type 1 hypervisor. Now, type 2 hypervisor is where we store our virtual machines on top of an already existing operating systems, which could be operating system, which could be Windows, it could be Linux, it could be Mac OS. So those are the two types of uh, hypervisor. Now, the next thing is whether we use type 1 or type 2, the rest of our environment are all going to be using um, the hardware of the host operating system, in this case, the type 2 hypervisor. So, whether it is our RAM, our hard drive, um, our CPU, they are all going to be tied to the physical machine. Now, now, how do we leverage um, virtualization technology in um, our working environment? Virtualization technology is very important. It's very key. Like I begin with my intro. Um, Virtualization makes um, spending or allocating our resources very easy. Now, let's take this scenario as an example. Say we want to install uh, 2 to 3 servers that will be running different programs. If we are installing our server the traditional way, it means we'll be needing up to 3 physical servers. But for virtualization, all we need is just a single set of hardware. We can, once we have a single set of hardware, we can install our 3 server virtually on that single set of hardware because we are able to um, install um, our servers as of virtual programs. Imagine having your, whether it's your Windows server or your Linux server, whatever it is. Imagine installing all of those servers just on a single set of hardware. Imagine how much resources you can save as compared to doing it the traditional way where you have to um, purchase 3 different sets of hardware to install your 3 different um, servers. Another advantage is this. Now, even though we have installed um, two to three servers on a single set of physical hardware, but virtualization is important in a sense that these servers will function independently. Why they show that they are functioning on a single set of hardware, they will function as though they are on a separate physical machine. This gives us added advantage for security. And the next thing is we can easily migrate our servers to the cloud by using virtualization. Unlike having our servers on physical machine, which can be almost impossible if we want to say move our servers to the cloud. Having virtualization for this purpose makes our working very much easier. And another thing it does again in a working environment, it is easy for us to conduct training in a simulated environment because then we can allocate or set up another virtual machine that we can use for practical aspects or that we can use for other function like troubleshooting. So having virtualization in our working environment is very much important, and I will encourage um, other businesses and institutions to utilize the power of virtualization technology. So next, we want to talk about servers, roles, and futures. We want to look at um, the difference between the two. So now, server roles are the primary purpose of a server. So, say when you install a server role, you are actually telling the server that this is a specific task that I want you to perform. So it's the purpose of your server. Now, that purpose could include, say, for example, maybe you want to have an Active Directory domain services, or maybe you want to install a DNS server, or maybe you want to install a DHCP server, or a file and storage services, or web server, and whatever. These are the primary roles of a server. That's the responsibility of a server role. Now let's look at the server features. Now the server features are the supporting components of the server. So you have defined the role of the server, what exactly you want the server to do, but you will need um, other services that will complement the purpose of the server. Now, those supporting components are what we refer to as the server features. Now, these can include group policy management console. It can also include Windows Server backup. It will also include telnet client and so forth. So these are the differences between a server role and a server future. So next we want to look at Active Directory. Now, without this service, uh, there is no need of having a server because Active Directory is actually the backbone of this entire environment. It serves as the database service for Windows domain. In fact, it connects users to computers, to applications, and Other related IT resources. Active Directory serves as the centralized identity and access management. Now, having Active Directory, you are able to securely authenticate users. You are able to easily authorize access. You are able to easily organize your resources, and you are able to enforce security policy. So, Active Directory is the brain behind Windows Server. Without it, there's no need of having a Windows Server. So every system administrator must know how to work around Active Directory. It's very important. It is the core of Windows Server. So some common tasks we can we can use um, um, to perform uh, administrative tasks using Active Directory uh, includes user account management. We can create, we can modify, we can disable, we can delete, and we can unlock accounts using Active Directory. We can also um, work around with computer account management. That is, we are able to join a computer to the domain. We are able to reset computer accounts. These tasks can be achieved by using Active Directory. Another thing we can do is group management. We can create and manage security groups, and we can do group distribution. We can also add or remove members. Uh, these tasks can be completed using Active Directory. And lastly, I want to talk about organization unit and access control implementation. So we can also use Active Directory to create our OUs. We can use Active Directory to create access control and permissions. So these are the few we can we can do uh, using Active Directory. So again, Active Directory is very important, and any system administrator needs to master it. So this is it for this interview. We talked about virtual machine. We talked about Windows rules and features, the differences between it, and we talked about the importance of having Active Directory. Thank you for watching.